Mark Ferguson. Welcome to Good Medicine. There's nothing wrong with having a few drinks every now and then, but alcohol abuse leads to almost 5,000 deaths in Australia each year and is a major cause of family breakups and personal tragedies. Now, doctors believe they can take away the urge to drink with a new drug. That's coming up shortly. But first, here's Caroline.
When Barbara Somerville went to see her surgeon, she presented him with a major challenge.
You tell me what you would do for me being the cosmetic surgeon. And he said to me, I'd do the works.
So this event organiser from Newcastle has decided to have a complete facial makeover. Barbara's having a brow lift, facelift, upper and lower eyelid revision, fat cell transfer to her lips, laser treatment and dermabrasion all at the same time.
For a busy person, they don't want to necessarily be having one operation this year, one the next, one the next. They want the optimal result.
So we can get some light.
Years of sun worshipping and smoking have made this 46-year-old look much older than she really is.
I had actually thought about it 10 years ago to do it. But it was a toss-up between whether my husband would pay for it or whether I was going to leave him, and I chose to leave him, and I had to wait an extra 10 years to get it done.
Actually re-establish your jawline.
Dr. Daryl Hodgkinson will perform the marathon procedure. He uses photos to show Barbara what she'll look like after the operation.
Well, I certainly don't want to look 19 years old, but I'd like to think that I look maybe at least 10 years younger. Right, so we're all even.
Barbara is aware of the dangers, which include infection, bleeding and the effects of being under general anaesthetic for prolonged periods.
Something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I could get run over by a bus tomorrow walking across the street. I'm prepared to take the chance.
The operation starts with an endoscopic brow lift. An instrument is used to separate the skin of the forehead from the underlying bone. The brow is then pulled up and re-secured. This should relieve the hooding over Barbara's eyes.
Here. So we're going to move this up like this, just this little bit there, and a lot more on the side.
In the second procedure, Dr. Hodgkinson removes excess skin and fat from the upper and lower eyelids, further refining their look.
Oh, 15 stitches that go right along there, right in the face, and then right down in the neck.
Next, the facelift. An incision is made around the ears. Muscle and fat lying directly beneath the skin is pulled up and reattached using a permanent internal stitch. The skin is then repositioned and tightened. Excess tissue is removed. Incredibly, after 2.5 hours of surgery, there's still more to do. Fat taken from Barbara's abdomen is injected into her cheeks and lips to make them fuller. Then finally, laser treatment and dermabrasion are performed on the whole face to eliminate fine wrinkles. Total time taken, around 4 hours. Due to the large number of procedures being performed all at the one time, it will take Barbara more than a month to recover. And because she's from out of town, she'll be checking into a nearby luxury hotel for the first week so that Dr. Hodgkinson can keep an eye on her.
Lunch, here you are. Oh, thank you, sir.
Day 6 after the operation, and our patient is learning to cope with her new face. And how are you feeling?
Like I'm behind somebody else's mask.
Really? Is it how you expect it?
No. Day 1, day 2 were pretty horrific, yeah, as far as pain goes. Lots of times I've thought, am I crazy? Why did I do it?
And against doctor's orders, she's still smoking.
So if I'd done as I was told, I probably wouldn't experience as much pain as what I have. So these little gnomes, these are what they're going to count.
4 months after the operation, Barbara is still feeling the effects.
If I knew about the recovery and the pain, I would have really seriously considered not doing it, because it is really quite horrific what you actually go through.
She says people's reactions have been great, but it's been a long recuperation.
In hindsight, yeah, I'm really happy with the result. I'm really pleased that I had it done, but no, I wouldn't have it done again. I will grow old gracefully from here on out.
Is that coming up, curing a lifetime eyesight problem in just 30 seconds.
It was just a remarkable procedure.
And later in the program, we'll give you the details on how to win incredible holidays in the Good Medicine Logical Great Escape. Yes, it looks painful, but this procedure is pain-free and is considered a major breakthrough in reversing long-sightedness.
Some of the patients had vision which is considered legally blind in the US and now enjoy 20/20 or perfect vision.
This is the way the world looks for 1 in 5 of us. Long-sightedness affects about 20% of the population. Objects up close are blurry, and the problem usually gets worse over time. Up until now, there have been 3 treatment options: glasses, contact lenses, and more recently, laser surgery. But here at Stanford University, doctors are trialling a new procedure, using radio waves to alter the shape of the outer eye. Compared to laser treatment, it's safer, faster, and cheaper.
Let's take a look at your eyes here.
Ed Riley has been here before. 15 months ago, Dr. Manchi used the radio wave procedure to improve the vision in Ed's right eye.
Just perfect. That was like night and day, I'll tell you that. Very, very clear, very precise. If I would hold my hand over the eye like this, it was extremely blurry. Coming back like this and reading, I could read something clear as I could have done when I was 12 or 13 years old. It was just a remarkable procedure. You see the words SF at the bottom
But
here.
Ed's left eye is a different story.
This is totally something I cannot read at all.
So Ed is set for a repeat performance.
A little bit of numbing medicine.
After the drops, a clip is put in place to keep the eye open. Then the pupil is marked, the stamp acting as a guide. Next comes the radio wave energy.
Just apply the energy there.
A probe delivers the radio waves into the surface of the eye, causing the cornea to shrink. The more times the eye is probed, the greater the shrinkage. That causes the natural curve in the cornea to increase, which in turn reverses the blurry effects of long-sightedness.
It's sort of like taking a plastic wrapper and heating it, it just shrinks in. What that does is it increases the curvature of the cornea.
And that's the end of it, right there.
It's great. No pain, no feeling. Very, very relaxed procedure.
The entire process takes less than 2 minutes, and the effects are instant.
Everything went beautifully, no problems whatsoever, like clockwork.
All right, Ed. Hopefully with your new improved eye,
vision.
see if you can read that circled part.
Lieberman quick to answer black delegates' concerns. New look, new leader in oil politics. Boy, these things, this is all the stuff that was totally blurry for me before.
The procedure is still in a trial stage in America. It's hoped it will be approved in the US within the next year. It's still not known if the benefits of the radio wave technique will decrease over time.
It would be a tremendous breakthrough because the safety is unparalleled. The ease of use for both the patient as well as the surgeon is unparalleled, and it should really be less expensive and maybe make it more affordable to everybody.
It's just a great procedure. I don't know what took them so long to do it, but it's wonderful to have it.
Health is a high priority for most of us, and in the search for good health, we're faced with some great myths. When we start talking food, fat and fitness, there are many fallacies. So let's set the record straight.
All fat is bad for you.
Fat is the main fuel for the body. Unsaturated fats contained in foods like nuts, avocado and fish are essential fats needed by the body. They help build cells and hormones.
Dieting can make you put on weight.
If the body doesn't get enough food, then it goes into starvation mode. In this mode, it stores everything it can as fat so that it can survive. This slows down the metabolism so that when you start eating again, the body stores this food as fat and you can gain weight.
Walking a kilometre burns around the same number of calories as running a kilometre.
About the same number of calories are burned running a set distance as walking it. So you don't necessarily have to raise a sweat to lose weight. It just takes a lot longer if you decide to walk.
You can eat as much protein and carbohydrate as you like without putting on weight.
Eating too much fat isn't the only way you'll put on those extra kilos. Excessive amounts of alcohol, protein and carbohydrate can all be broken down and converted to fat. The bottom line is, if you take in more energy than you burn up, you put on weight.
Exercise can turn fat into muscle.
Muscle and fat are two completely different tissues, and one can never turn into the other.
Eating at night makes you fat.
Years ago, it was thought the digestive system closed down during sleep, and food eaten just before bedtime would most likely turn to fat. Well, now we know that's not true. When you arrive home late, starving after a long day at work, you don't have to do without. It's still okay to have a meal. That's because your body is able to digest just about all of the food you eat, regardless of the time you eat it.
Next, the simple way to go from this to this.
There's nothing more disturbing for a new parent than a baby who won't stop crying. Sometimes a cuddle or a feed will do the trick, but if your baby suffers from colic, they'll probably need more than that. Well, there's a simple technique parents can try to help soothe away the tears.
He was a perfect newborn child. He slept the whole time. I had to wake him up to feed him, and he literally just fed and slept. I thought this was wonderful. Then at 4 weeks, the complete opposite.
Sound familiar? 8-week-old William Franklin has colic. He's one of about 30% of babies whose temperament changes dramatically between 4 and 5 weeks old.
The baby will go through prolonged periods of stressful crying for hours at a time. The child will usually experience a lot of abdominal cramping, and you will often feel that the abdomen has gone quite rigid.
He obviously had a very tight stomach. His legs were being drawn up, and this was happening when he was feeding as well. So he wasn't feeding, and when he wasn't feeding, he was hungry, and then he was becoming overtired. So it was a vicious cycle.
Treating the symptoms of colic has always been a hit and miss affair, mainly because no one's really sure what causes it. One theory most agree on, though, is that it's probably brought on by trapped wind. And there's one simple and effective way to help relieve the pain, and that's with massage.
Now, what we do first is just using the flat contact of our hand. Just feel for any areas that are tight or rigid or spasmed. That's it. Okay.
Here's how it works. With the flat of your hand, work the abdomen from the lower left-hand corner and move clockwise up, across and down the other side of the colon. This relieves a lot of the tightness in the gut, so wind can move through and be expelled.
So we're just working up the ascending colon here and gently across. That's it.
The massage should last about 10 minutes, and every now and again, bend the baby's legs up to the abdomen to release some wind.
Oh, William. It's not a curative thing for colic. What it does is it helps to manage the condition and allow the air to be expelled and released, and also release some of the spasm in the abdominal wall so the child then can relax a little bit.
Now that Victoria knows the massage technique, she can do it herself without having to pay a chiropractor. As for William, he's improved after just a couple of sessions.
Extreme improvement. We're all sleeping, he's sleeping, so he's a much happier child. The vicious cycle has stopped.
After after the break the drug that could solve one of the world's greatest problems.
Instead of alcohol controlling me, I've got a chance to fight it.
It's time for the Good Medicine Longicol Great Escape competition and your chance to win a fabulous overseas holiday. Good Medicine and Longicol, the new range of foods that lower cholesterol absorption, are offering two couples 5 nights of absolute indulgence at one of the best health resorts in the world, Shiva Som in Thailand. The winners will travel business class compliments of Thai Airways, who fly to over 70 destinations around the world. To win, call 1902 554 654 or log on to our website. For more details and a chance to win other great prizes, pick up a copy of this month's Good Medicine magazine, on sale now. We'll announce the winners in 2 weeks. Good luck. In Australia, drinking is pretty much a national pastime, so it's little wonder some people develop problems with alcohol. Well, now there's a new drug to keep those who need help off the booze.
Most people who enjoy a drink know when to stop, but some people don't. They keep on drinking until their lives start to unravel. 50-year-old Robin Scutts can vouch for that. She drank excessively for nearly 15 years.
It got very bad to the point where I was physically ill. It was controlling everything that I did, and I knew that I couldn't survive with it, and I couldn't survive without it either.
The National Health and Medical Research Council puts dangerous drinking levels at more than 6 standard drinks per day for men and 4 for women. The effects of long-term heavy drinking on the liver are well known, but this is what happens to the brain. Certain chemicals in the brain change to compensate for the constant presence of alcohol. Once the alcohol is taken away, those chemicals become unbalanced, and that creates a need to keep drinking to feel normal. If alcohol is not forthcoming, withdrawal symptoms can develop.
Patients develop sweating, agitation, rapid heartbeat, and those are very unpleasant symptoms.
One of the keys to breaking the vicious drinking cycle is to stop the craving. And while counselling may help, it's not for everyone. Well, now there's a new drug that's successfully helping problem drinkers to stay away from the bottle. Marketed as Campral, the drug reduces the craving for alcohol by restoring the chemical balance in the brain, so there's less need to return to drinking.
What we find is that Campral treatment helps them to stay off the drinking and allows their brain to recover, so that there comes a time when they can stop the treatment and stay free of alcohol.
Robin started taking Campral 7 months ago, and she hasn't touched a drop since. She doesn't have to avoid temptation either. Yes, I'm going to get some wine. What about you?
Look, can I have a lime ice and soda, please?
Not a problem.
Is that difficult to organise, to order something soft like that each time you go out?
No, you get used to it after a while.
So do you feel you need a drink? Do you still crave it?
No. No, I don't. Not as much as what I used to, no. Not at all.
So she's drinking again, is she?
Paul Haber's a drug and alcohol specialist who's been prescribing Campral since its release in Australia. Because the relapse rate for problem drinkers is very high, patients are usually required to stay on Campral for at least 12 months.
In all honesty, the drug has been on the market for less than a year, so we don't have a lot of patients yet who have come off treatment and are completely free of drinking. But we definitely have a lot of patients who are doing well so far on treatment.
Campral is also a well-tolerated drug. It has very few side effects, and most patients don't feel any obvious difference when taking it.
In fact, they sometimes come back to me and they say, "Doctor, this medication isn't doing anything." "Oh, how much are you drinking?" "I haven't had anything to drink." Maybe it is working.
Instead of alcohol controlling me, I've got a chance to fight it.
Robin Scutts tried counselling, AA and detox programs to stop drinking, and nothing worked until she started taking Campral. Now she says she has her life back.
I've got my self-confidence back, I've got my personality back. I've got the ability to turn around and say, no, I don't want to have a drink.
Well, that's it for tonight. If you'd like more information on any of our stories, don't forget we're on the net at 9msn.com.au/goodmedicine. If you're not online, you can give us a call on 1902 210 356 and we'll post or fax you the details. And don't forget to keep a lookout for Good Medicine magazine, on sale now.
In, and blow.
Next week on Good Medicine, an incredible medical breakthrough.
This drug has the potential to cure asthma.
Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week for more Good Medicine.
Graphics on tonight's program created by Animated Biomedical Productions.